So, when someone gives me a call and thinks they are being investigated for, or they have been charged with domestic violence, that is among one of the most serious cases that I get in my office. While I do death penalty cases, I do murder trials, domestic, which are obviously in theory far more substantively serious. Domestic violence is one of the most serious offenses that can destroy people's lives. And I'm talking about the accused right now. Once somebody picks up a domestic violence conviction, any future relationship they have, whether with the alleged victim in the case at hand, or anyone they date or are with in the future, if there's any allegation of physical behavior between you and the other person, you're almost for sure going to be charged. Furthermore, domestic violence allegations are, for whatever reason, probably the most common scenarios where false allegations are made. People use domestic violence allegations to help prep for divorce. They ought to break up. I actually refer to it called breakup by cop, because people will call the police and allege domestic violence to get the alleged perpetrator kicked out of the house. Then they go in and try for a domestic violence restraining order, which keeps the person out of their house, keeps them from seeing their own children, having any contact with the alleged victim, and it becomes a nightmare. If you are charged with a domestic violence offense, my advice to you is this: fight it. Do not voluntarily accept a domestic violence conviction. The only reason you would accept a domestic violence conviction, another problem with domestic violence charges or even allegations of domestic violence that make it to the police, are that if you do get charged with domestic violence, there is a specific evidence code section in California that permits the prosecutor to put on evidence, arguably, of any other domestic violence allegation that you allegedly have engaged in. The trial judge can rule that 10 years may be too old or longer, but they don't always rule that it's too old. And you could find yourself facing not only the charge that you have, but the fact that they're using against you allegations from your past. It is super rare that I have somebody in my office that has a prior domestic violence conviction that believes they should have taken that domestic violence conviction. But if you take one that you shouldn't have taken, you make my job much more difficult in the future, because if we go to trial with just you being accused of engaging in domestic violence with this one person on this one occasion, that's one trial. But if we're at trial and they're bringing in other allegations of domestic violence, even with the same person, that they may not have reported it to the police before, but now that you're charged, all of a sudden your alleged victim is claiming that you've done it before, that it's been a pattern of behavior, and the prosecutor is going to be able to put on evidence of that at your trial. If, however, you fight the domestic violence charge the whole way the first time you get it, you're in a much better position for any future case, for your life generally, and you're less likely to be charged in the future if an allegation is made. The prosecutors are going to be more open to considering that it was a false allegation or it was a bogus charge the first time around. If you're looking at a domestic violence charge or think you may pick up a domestic violence charge and want to discuss this further, give me a call, 951-777-1111.